Durag Diaries, yo, what's good, people? Welcome back to Spurs-Of-The-Moment. Sorry, I got that completely wrong. Spurs-Of-The-Moment. We are here Friday, 1 o'clock settings. Me and your boy E to talk about everything Spurs, the current, semi-final settings. Also, big news. My boy E touched 1K, Hey, big up to everyone inside that subscribed to E already. If you haven't, though, make sure you go help him because now it's the road to 2K. Once you get over the 1K mark, it's now road to 2K. I've got his channel in the description, so you got to make sure you go show some love. Go subscribe to the boy if you haven't already. E, too much of E in the description. But today, the focus is Europa League. We both had a watch along yesterday, so some of you may or may not have been tuned in. But it was a big night. It was a big game. Maybe not a big performance, but the job got done. The job got done. So the result is more important than anything. But what are you saying, though, E-man? How you feeling about the 1K? How you feeling about Spurs? It's good.
Man,
yeah? Good timing.
Bro, so much shit happened in my stream, bro. Someone got, because usually I do a watch along with someone, like in my Discord.
Yeah.
Bro, someone paid me to have him muted for the whole stream, bro.
Oh, so I see. It was that him.
Yeah.
Him paid £100, innit?
He paid £100 to get him muted, but I can't lie. I could only mute it for the first half because that was crazy. Paid £100 to mute it for the whole stream is crazy. So.
I can't lie. That's if you man want to mute E for £100, let's get him back in it. Feel free.
At that point, if you get paid £100 to mute me, bro, hey, you could do a spur of the moment on your own.
I can't even lie, yeah. £100, I'm muting anyone in the stream. I can't lie. If someone doesn't like someone that much, bro, you're gonna have to just sit on the side of the stream and watch today. That's all it is.
100%. I can't lie, bro.
If it happens to me,
100.
Yeah, if it happened to me, I hear it. I literally hear it. If it happened to me, I'd be like, hey, they got me, innit? 50, 60. That's a lot of money, bro. That's a lot of money.
I'm saying, bro, it was pretty much like a never a foul thing. Someone paid to have someone sit in the fucking gulag, fam. It was crazy.
Literally. Gulag settings, that's crazy. Because I bopped into the stream and I was looking at the subscribers and I see, $99 Heem Capital. I was like, yo, these men are doing something over here. Clearly, it's working. You put him to the 1K. I'm fucking with it. For real.
But I gotta thank you, man. And now I'm on live as well. I have to do this live, bro. I have to thank Jords for everything he's done, bro. Like, you guys don't even see the half of what Jords has done for me. So even just giving advice, just checking up on me, helping me with ideas. Jords has been monumental, almost as much as any other YouTuber. He's been monumental in getting me here. So this is not just my win, it's Jords' win as well. So I have to thank Jords live. And I've already thanked him behind the scenes, but I have to do it live as well.
Nah, big up, man.
Doesn't get his props, it's insane.
You already know it. Is anyone that I can help and support, especially in the Tottenham space? I'm always there, man. I want to see more Tottenham creators. More than anything, I'll be real. I want to see more Tottenham creators that look like me. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get us up there. Supporting the club, putting us on the map because I don't think there's too many. There's not enough. Let's just say that there's not enough. So we're trying to get up there. We're trying to put ourselves on the map, and that's the only way to do it is by supporting each other. So yeah, no doubt about that. But let me just go to the chat. Let's big up some of the people that are inside. Come over from the NAF raid. Big up to KD who was here nice and early, checked in NAF raid, and also come on you Spurs. NAF raid from Kingsman. Big up to Kingsman. Look, as he says here, like the stream and subscribe if you haven't already. 123 people in the building, only 17 likes. It's nuts. I know this isn't really NAF. This isn't NAF people inside right now because Cass would not be having this ratio go on. Cass would not let this ratio go on the way it is right now. So make sure we get that ratio up. Let's get this up to 50 likes ASAP before we start disappearing cameras real soon. We're going to do it. It's the NAF raid. We're going to start treating you, man, like we're on NAF. That's what we're going to do. But fair play to the Spuds. I can't even hate. Keros was out here trying to spread some bad negative energy before the game. He thinks I forget, but hey, do your job in the Champions League and we may see you in the Super Cup. That's all I'm gonna say. Maybe. But big up Jords, big up E, big up End Annie, Donna Cullen, always in the building. Wagwan, Jords. Look, one thing I will say about Donna, she is a real one. If you want to be like her, you want to have that little sign next to your name, because he's gonna have these open real soon as well. I don't know if you guys know. Yeah, memberships are now open.
Yeah, I got him, bro. Yeah, I got him.
And now I've got the memberships open too. If you want to become a delinquent, you want to become a descendant, it's right next to the subscribe button. You tap join and you become a member of the channel. You can be like Donna Cullen. You know what I mean? But while going to Elijah, big up Jords every time. Big up to the guy Kizzy, even though he's a hater, he is a real one too. Yeah, make sure you check in, Kizzy. I'm gonna be in your Insta. Big up everyone and Ghosted. Look, do you know you have to big up
Ghosted, man. Yeah, Ghosted has been putting my link.
Been putting the link wherever he can, especially in this chat. Whenever I'm asking a mod to do it, literally, I'll be like, mods, where's bang? He's got the link there. It's in the chat
already, bro. Yeah, Ghosted is also someone I got a big up as well.
Big up to Ghosted, man, for real. He's really helping the push with the man them.
He's helping Jun as well.
Mr. Jords, when are you inviting Mr. Touchline Facts on your channel? He always comes on.
She was saying something crazy about him yesterday, bro. Oh my gosh, fam. She was saying something.
Do you know why this is mad, Donna? Because Donna, if you're old, if you're actually an adult, I don't know if Touchline's an adult. So whatever, if you say something mad about him, that's crazy.
He's 19, so he's just about okay. But it's like the
barely,
insane,
like, bro, this is crazy. I'm not even gonna read out whatever she's got to say on him. I see why people rate Wolfie so much. Wolfie is making cash money. Love Marzel. Wolfie is really good, really good.
My man was howling on camera, bro. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. I could not be howling on camera. I'm sorry.
Nah, Wolfie is like the goat of rattling people. Like he's learned from me, innit? That's what it is. You see me when it comes to rattling, the professional rattler. He's from that same type of school and he does it real good. I can't lie. He's definitely he almost had me going back and forth with him on Dan Potts' show yesterday, but I just told him, Wolfie, I ain't got time for your shit, man. Let's go. Big up to Justin. Respect. Big up to Elijah, Jords, and the chat. Big up to my guy Jay Spurs. Jords, what's your ethnicity, bro? I'm Jamaican, English, and Italian, my guy. Nafraid, yeah, JJ, we get that. This is kind of a white hyper, but you're my guy, so I'm gonna let it bypass. But I can smell the legendariness through the screen. Big up, lads. Smelling another man is a bit mad. That's what I'm just saying. Whether it's legendary or not, smelling another man and kind of be like, oh, these guys have got so much aura. It's kind of gay. I'm just hyper. It's fine if you swing that way, but you're my guy. You're my guy, so I respect it. But we're just gonna have to put a big pause on that one. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Safety pause, man.
But love Marcel, you should have seen him on Hotspur Cave yesterday, George. I was on a stream with Elijah too.
Yeah, she was saying she. I don't even know whoever that is, bruv. Yeah,
just always on one. Big up the man, them smash the Nikes. You will never walk alone. Big up to Dean. We're gonna be on Trench Talks later on tonight, 10 p.m. quiz settings. Make sure you're there every time. And as Hyper says here, big up to Dean every time. But look, now that we checked in with the chat, now that we're up to date with everything, let's get into the good stuff. I know both of us spoke before the game. Well, before the last fixture, we both had a lot of confidence. We were all like smiling, giddly. We were feeling about it. Like we were like, yeah, we're ready for this. Yeah. All for it to just be an absolute shit show. Going into this game, did you have that same confidence, or was you like me? And I was like, yo, I'm really not feeling this one. Like I was nervous, hella nervous.
Same as you, bro, because we don't do well in hostile environments. Well, before yesterday, we don't do well in hostile environments, man. We've seen the Galatasaray, you know, see that was a horror show. So I really wasn't looking forward to it. I thought we would have had to get the job done in the first leg, and we didn't. Whether you can say it was unlucky or not, that's a different story. But we didn't get the job done. The scoreline was 1-1 going to Germany. I'm pretty sure every Frankfurt fan would have taken that. A 1-1 draw away, and now you're at home where you can get the job done. So I was very nervous. I thought we would lose this game, but the boys surprised me, bro. Ange and the players, they surprised me, man. They pulled it out the bag, a flipping clean sheet as well. That's the most surprising bit. We didn't concede a goal. I don't know how we didn't, but we didn't, man. So you love to see it, bro.
No, for real, like keeping a clean sheet was a huge surprise. And you know, one thing we do need to talk about that clean sheet is the defensive performance. I think that might actually been, well, I say solid. It wasn't a solid defensive performance, but it was one of the better performances we've seen from the defenders in a long while. I do think at the end of the game, it was shaky, man. Those chances that they got kept falling to that Christensen. We're lucky that all their best chances fell to a right back and not Hugo Ekitike, because if he got the ball in some of the positions that right back had it would have been a long day, bro. He would have buried some of those chances top bins, but we were fortunate that it fell to the right back. But I did feel like Romero was pretty solid that game. Van de Ven was sweeping everything up, doing his job. Didn't really put a foot wrong. The only bit where I was like, Romero losing his head was right. I know you saw the 94th minute, man's just flying in for a challenge. I'm like, bro, it's like he's looking to get yellow cards and red cards. Like he's just looking, like he doesn't realize that he has this, he has this name already for being known for being hugely reckless. And he just shows himself up time and time again, like stupid challenges, pointless. And he was the guy that was furthest forward. And I'm like, yo, my man's not even running back. He's not even working back. But outside of that, I do feel like Romero had a fairly decent game.
It was as solid as we'd ever get defensively. It was that type of game, really. Because we're never going to be amazing defensive team, man. That's not something that's ever going to happen. We can have good defensive moments in spurts, and that's pretty much what we saw yesterday with Ange going 5 back when Danso was brought on. And we're taking off Tel for Sarr as well, just beefing up the midfield. And what is that? Oh, that's the goal Durag on Bergvall.
The goal Durag on Bergvall. Come on, man. Jun's tapped in. He tapped in. He's got Bergvall to Durag because the real driller right there. Yeah.
I didn't know what the hell that was for a say. Fairs, bro. But yeah, I can't like. One thing I will say, as Justin said, the referee was card happy, man. You know how they say some people are trigger happy. He was card happy, man. The yellow cards, the red cards, they were just flying out of his pocket. I was like, damn, fair enough.
I feel like in the Europa League, it's always been like that. Like when you watch these European ties, referees don't play games. Like any opportunity they get, they're just like, yeah, yellow card, red card, and they're just throwing out cards for all these challenges. I do feel like the discipline was a lot better yesterday, though, from us. Barring obviously a few players, obviously Bentancur, Romero, they're the usual suspects in that they're gonna pick up cards. But I was impressed more with like the likes of Bergvall not to pick one up, because we know if he gets a yellow card, he's banned for the next game. Maybe I think if you get a yellow card in the semi-final, you can't be suspended for the final. I think. I
don't remember.
Like he could be suspended for the second leg, so he's one yellow card away from that. So it's just a bit difficult there. But he had another good game. But I want to go back. Let's go back to that first half. Let's go back to that penalty decision. What did you think of that? Because when I was watching it in real time, at first I was like, yo, this is a coming together. Then when you're watching it in the slow motion, I was like, nah, this is a penalty. And it took a bit long for them to make the decision that it was actually a penalty. What did you feel about it? Do you think we were lucky to get that, or did you feel it was guaranteed penalty?
You know what it is, yeah? If before VAR, it's not a penalty. Like, if we're being real, like, that's just going to be counted as a come together. Yeah. Unfortunate that Maddison had to go through that and he got knocked out pretty much, bro. But yeah, I think with VAR being introduced to the game has gotten a bit softer, like just in general. Like the physicality is just not there because people are scared of the replays. So I think with VAR, I would say it's a penalty. But if we're looking at before VAR was introduced 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it's not a penalty. It's just a coming together, maybe like a drop ball situation where we get the ball back with Vicario or Van de Ven and we just carry on playing. So do I think it was a penalty? Yes, I do think it's a penalty. But I mean, in the heat of the moment, most of the time referees aren't going to call it because it just looks like you've come together and Maddison's come off worse. So I can understand why people may feel like it was lucky. I can understand why Frankfurt may feel hard done by. But when you have a replay to watch everything that's going on, I mean, it's a penalty, fam. It is what it is.
No, that's it. When you saw the replay, it was damning, because when you actually look at it, the way that they're coming, for one, it was a great pass from Romero, I have to say. Like the little run, I know they've worked on that all year. Like that's been something they've worked on in training, because we've seen that little sort of run from that left-hand space from Maddison moving into the middle. He's done that a few times this season. And I think, to be fair, this might be the second time that he's got a goal from it, or we've got a goal from it. It was a great ball lofted over the top from him. But the bit where it made it a penalty for me, because I get with you, I was with you. I was like, if there was no VAR, it's definitely just a coming together. But it's the fact that he never actually went for the ball. The goalkeeper just ran and his hands were by the side of him, and he never challenged for the ball. It's just like he ran straight into Maddison to block him and block the potential opportunity that was going to come. And it was going to go in. It was actually going to go in if it didn't deflect off the goalkeeper's head. But he was reckless. goalkeeper was reckless. And I felt for Madders, because if you actually saw the way man just got licked in his headpiece, he fell back, his legs were like bent all behind him. It was not good. And I knew from that moment, I was like, yeah, Madders ain't gonna play on. Like, I mean, some people I saw in my chat, they're coming on going, why is the captain running from the penalty? And look, I'm a Maddison hater, but I was like, bro, man just got clattered. And you're expecting him to stand up and be like, yeah, let me take this penalty now. Let me try. Bro, he probably could barely see left to right. He definitely had a concussion and you want him to take the penalty. So when he misses, everyone's going to go mad. If anyone even let him
Tottenham players, I remember Brendan Johnson won the penalty at Southampton and Tell took it. Like there's clearly a pecking order for penalties, which I don't mind, to be honest. I mean, even if Maddison wins the penalty, even if he's not concussed, if he doesn't take it because Solanke's the designated penalty taker there for that game, I'm not mad at it. Even if Solanke misses, I'm not mad at it because like these guys know each other the word. Like they're the ones in training, practicing with each other. The managers there, they know who the best is at penalty taking. I can have my opinion. I could be like, yo, Maddison should be on free kicks. But if Porro's ripping them in training, then why shouldn't Porro take a free kick, for example? You get what I'm saying? So whoever the designated penalty taker is, as much as I would want maybe Brendan Johnson to get a hat-trick, or I'd want Maddison to score the goal because he won the penalty, they know who the best penalty takers are. So if Solanke steps up, I'm assuming that Solanke's the best penalty taker on the pitch. That's the only way I look at it.
Exactly. I mean, if you just had to see Ange on the sidelines going mental, he's going, Dom. He was screaming at the players to make sure Dom was going to take the penalty. I think probably for one of two reasons. For one, like you said, the best penalty taker needs to take it. I think Solanke was Bournemouth's penalty taker last season, so it makes sense that for one, he's a striker. Strikers should take penalties. But two, it's also a player that needed confidence. You need to give it to, especially when you got a striker that's not really scored goals. He's got 1 or 2 goals now in the whole of 2025. He needed something to give him that confidence. We saw what it done for Tell in that last game, and you see the difference because when Tell was playing yesterday, I wanted to get onto him anyway. Was Tell looked a lot more confident yesterday. Tell was bright. He's getting the ball, running at his man, cutting inside, taking shots. Like he was one of the only players I'm seeing take their man on and take a shot all by themselves and be greedy. That's what I want. I want a player to be greedy. I want him to just take his man on and not look for the pass, because the problem with Spurs is everyone wants to pass on the responsibility. No one wants to take the opportunity. But what did you think of Tell's performance yesterday?
I was pretty happy with Tell because obviously we see Son week in, week out, and we have our gripes with Son. And to be fair, I don't think he's been put in a position to shine. Like he's never been a creator, and he's like 33, so asking him to press is crazy. But in terms of Tell, look, Tell, I liked the confidence from him. That's the main thing. I know I've heard Odebear might be injured. You know, we've heard like the little rumblings, and to be fair, he didn't play, so it could be a fact that he's injured. But I think I was impressed with Tell. I like the fact that he would go forward with the ball. There are times where he'd cut in and shoot, or he'd go on the outside. Like he was a bit unpredictable in a way. Son at times is very predictable. If he can't dribble down the byline, a lot of times he's just passing backwards. So most of the time, Son can get trapped easily. So I'm glad to see Tell at least try and be different, try and, ask questions of their fullback. And yeah, to be fair, Tell's best performances have been off the left-hand side anyway. So I'm glad that we're able to see Tell in the left-hand side. Maybe with a few more games, he might even build even more confidence. So yeah, man, I was happy with Tell's performance. I can't lie.
I was so happy to see Tell on that left-hand side, I must say. Like, as much as I don't want to hear Sonny's injured or anything like that, just knowing that Sonny wasn't going to play on that left-hand side, I was like, yo, Tell, finally we got someone who can run at them. Finally, someone who's going to want the ball to their feet. Finally, someone who's going to add something different. I was hoping that we got Odegaard off the right because Johnson was just, yet again, non-existent in majority of the game.
Yeah.
I feel like he's just a passenger, and he's too happy being a passenger. That's what it is for me. I feel like as a winger, you should always have a natural arrogance that you want to be the goal scorer. You want to be the assist. Like, you want the spotlight. That's what if you're a footballer and you're playing in the forward positions, you should want to make everything about you. I want today to be about me. That's what you should be like. He doesn't. He's just happy to be a part of the team, just happy to be playing for Spurs and all this rubbish. And I don't want those types of players. I don't want guys, happy-go-lucky guys. We got far too many of them. And Johnson, yet again yesterday, after the performance we saw on the weekend, it's just no improvement. I generally don't see what the manager is seeing in choosing Johnson week in, week out. But if Odegaard's injured, that's the only thing I can think to make sense.
That's
Because
the only
Kulu
thing.
obviously he's come back from injury, and we saw him for
Yeah,
45 minutes. And I'd say like you could probably tell he's still come back from injury because he wasn't
yeah.
working as hard as he usually does, sort of playing a bit higher up on the pitch. And then we saw him on the left hand side to end the game.
Mm,
So I wasn't really too mad at that. But then Odegaard didn't get no minutes. He hasn't had no minutes in the last 2 games. Mikey Moore, just clearly there's been a lack of trust in him or something because
yeah.
they just doesn't want to play him no more. It's really weird, but Paulo says here, Andrew threw on Danso to tactically allow us to deal with Christensen on the edge of the box, who kept being the free man. It was tactically spot on. Do you agree with that? I was waiting for Danso to come on for ages. I can't even lie. From
Yeah,
like 75th minute, it started to get techie. They were just loading up crosses into the box. I was like, make this
yeah.
Danso sub, make this Danso sub. I felt like he made the Danso sub. It was a bit late, but it got done if it got made. Do you think it was
Yeah.
a very good decision from Ange? And was you surprised that Spence didn't come into the game?
Not necessarily because in terms of I was surprised when he didn't start, but considering how the game was going on, not really, because it wasn't really a game to call for Spence. And obviously Porro is, we know what he's like defensively, but the way the game was going on, Udogie was having a great game, and the way it was going, we just needed to kill time. We needed to just hit the ball into the box. We just needed to clear it. And who's a better hoofer of the ball than Porro, fam? Man just slaps the ball and it goes anywhere. So I fully hear it. In terms of the Danso sub, yeah, it came a slightly bit too late, but he made the sub regardless. So I got to give him props to that because this is the first time really, you know what I'm saying, when we need to hold the lead. Does he throw the extra defender to hold the lead? Does he take off a winger to bring on Saar, you know what I'm saying, to boost up the midfield? You know what I'm saying? He doesn't really do that. So I'm looking at the game like, rah, Ange, is this you here? Is this you with a 5 back? Is this you actually holding on to the lead for once? So I was happy to see that. I was happy to see the subs made. I don't know if it was as tactical as what Broski was making it out to be, but just the fact of having a defender, an extra defender, and an extra midfielder out there, we really went like 5-4-1 almost in a way, because both wingers came off for a midfielder and a defender, like a 5-3-2, however you want to look at it, man. But yeah, it was a good move from Ange bringing on defenders / defensive oriented players and bringing off attackers because we needed to see the game out. There was no
We
other way.
needed to see that, and I feel like that's something we need to see more often. Like if you can see that we've got a lead, that we're trying to protect the lead, and we're in a game where there's a lot riding on the line, you should just bring on that defender, make it a 5 at the back, get defensively tight. Maybe don't make so many changes like you did with the formation. You can still keep a very similar formation. You play with a 3-4-3, similar to the 4-3-3, but you just have the 3 at the back, and then you make your wing backs your wingers and bring the other 2. If you like, you put Kulusevski on the left hand side, should have just brought Kulusevski in the middle, played with like a diamond in the middle type thing, just to pack out the midfield so they can't really play through the middle, force them out wide, and then you have the 5 at the back covering you covering for you guys on the out wide. So Ange just needs to simplify some of his decisions that he's making. But I will say that he did make some decent decisions yesterday. I feel like subs probably came at the right time when he did make them. Could have been a bit earlier for both of them. Probably could have made a few more subs. But ultimately, the result is the most important thing. And that's what it was all about yesterday. Just getting through to that semi-final, making sure that we got the job done. But what's your biggest takeaway from that game? What's your biggest takeaway from that game? When you look at that game, is there anything that stood out to you, whether it's good, bad, player-wise, manager-wise? I mean,
yeah, the practicality, really, because it's the first time we've seen it. It's the first time we've very much seen it. Like, if we look at the rest of the clean sheets we've had, Man United, you know what I'm saying, we didn't play like this. They just missed chances. Brentford, we didn't play like this. They missed chances. This is the first time, I want to say, in a game that I've watched with this manager, that we've changed up the tactics completely. Like, we've sat back, not attacked, not really pressed that much. This is the first time I've seen it, and it was, for a second, I forgot we were watching Tottenham. I thought we were just watching another team for a second, because it's like, rah, we're not high line pressing. We're kind of mid block to low blocking it at times. We're just stinking it out. We're doing the shameless, you know what I'm saying, Romero on the floor in the 90th minute, clutching his head when there ain't nothing wrong with him. We're doing all the shameless tactics. We're doing everything. It's like, I haven't seen this Tottenham. I don't remember the last time I've seen Tottenham do this. Maybe it was Mourinho or Conte or one of them, but I ain't seen this in a minute. So that was what I took from it the most, because I don't know why we did it. If I had to be a guessing man, it'd be because we don't have any other players, like any other, we don't have any competition, left. It's just the Europa League. So maybe and just seeing us like, this is the last chance I have. So we gotta just be shameless. It doesn't matter. Even if I go against my principles for this one trophy, let's try and win it. And if he's doing that, then fair play to him, innit? Because it takes a lot to abandon your principles to try and go for a common goal. So I'll give Ange props on that. But if we can maintain this level of practicality, not even necessarily in the league, but in the Europa League, we really could win this competition, man. We really can. Because that's what I've been wanting from Ange. Be a bit more practical at times. Switch it up at times. That's the only gripe I really have on Ange, the fact that he doesn't switch it up. So if he is switching it up and we end up walking away with something, that just gives me confidence more confidence in the manager for real.
No, that's it there. I feel like the changes are needed. When you got a big game, it calls for big results. And yeah, that's a big takeaway. That is a big takeaway. The fact that he showed some type of adaptability in this game, showed some tactical nous, and ultimately showed some mental fortitude with the team to show that they can get through a very tight fixture away from home. 1-0 probably wasn't pretty, It's one of those games where it's such thin margins that separate, but we managed to get it done. And that's usually what has been Spurs' problem under Ange, is when it comes to thin margins, tight games, we never pull through. But we got the job done. So you just got to look at the team, look at the manager, and for me, that would probably be the biggest takeaway from the game. Mr. Udang says here, also shout out to THFC flags for those flags, man. Away fans were surreal. They were, man. Away fans have been good, especially even though Spurs have been poor at the moment. The away fans have been class as of recently. But look, I'll tell you what, I think the players decided to do this in spite of Ange's tactics. We turned the whole thing around like Bruce Jenner. Yeah. Paulo says, "No, Kulu on the right was brilliant. He was a ghost in the 10, but on the right wing, his job was to use his engine to push the ball out the pitch and push our lineup." Yeah, that's literally it. He done a really good job with that. We had a question here from Jay. I don't like to miss Jay's questions because that's really my guy. Yo, Jords and Elijah. So Elijah, how did you keep a straight face in Savage stream the other day with that hippie guy?
Hey, I saw the content.
Elijah done the reaction, and his reaction's getting some good numbers, getting some real good numbers.
We peaked to like 75, no raid as well. So it was cold, fam. But nah, you know what it is, yeah. When I go full content mode, yeah, I can do anything, bro. I swear I could do anything. No diddy, fam. But when literally as soon as it happened, because they were calling him out and he was talking shit.
How did he get on the stream? Actually, I want to know what happened, because obviously I was in a stream during that stream. I missed a lot of
So basically, what happened is before Sava went live initially, Hotspur Hippie dropped a video where he was talking about, like, he name dropped Sava and stuff. The usual suspects. And I think Sava had just had enough of like all of this building up over time, so he named his stream that. And basically, I woke up to it and they were live, so I was like, oh shit, let me go say what's up. And then big up Philly and Box Office, because they started spamming Sava to get me in the stream. So Sava sent me the link and I was in there. And it just so happened that Paul made some community post talking about how he commented in Sava's stream, but he was blocked or some shit like that. So Sava was like, yo, he posted the StreamYard link in his community post and said, pull up. So eventually he pulls up and Sava asks, yo, is there anyone you want to kick out? He kicks out
Danny. I saw that straight away. Get this Danny prick out of here. I don't want to hear nothing he's got to say.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So he kicks out Danny, and then the rest of us end up staying. So we stay, and we're like, we had already agreed that we would not say shit. We'd let Sava and Hotspur Hippie do their thing. So we're just muted. So more time, I'm just like, yo, the content here is gonna be crazy. This is SNN worthy, innit? So I decided in that moment that I'm not gonna make a video, nothing. As soon as this is done, I'm gonna live stream. So the first thing I did was go to Cave Conversations, because I knew that these men were live, because I have post noties on. If you man don't have post noties on, you're crazy.
Big facts.
But I went straight to Cave Conversations and I let Jords and Jay know, yo, something's going down right now. You know what I'm saying? There's something crazy going on. So basically, I let everyone know what was happening. I can't lie, I was tuning in and out like mentally, because I was in the chat promoing heavy. So a lot of the times
I saw man gained like 50 subscribers since that day. Like,
you know what's crazy? I didn't even get those subs, from Savage streamers, from my own stream, which is crazy. I
Yeah,
only got
that's
like
what would
5
happen,
subs
though,
from
isn't
it.
it? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
literally
what tends to
from
happen, though, man. Like, it's because they now know E, then you went live, and then there's loads of new viewers coming into your chat, and it's like, yo,
yeah.
never seen something like this before.
You know what I'm saying? But that's literally what it was. Like when I entered, as soon as Hotspur Hippie left, I saw a bunch of people just enter the stream yard. I was like, yeah, I'm not about to be one of 12. You're not catching me like this. So I left, I bounced out, and I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna do this right now, bro. So while Sava's still live, I start my live reacting to Sava vs Hotspur Hippie. Of course, everyone who wasn't in the stream didn't know what was going on. So they're like, wait, what? And they joined.
Yeah.
Had a bunch of YouTubers joining through, had Sava and Paul themselves come through the stream, had Jose come through, obviously Luke showing love. I think Mike's was in there for a while. I had a bunch of YouTubers just coming through and showing some love. But yeah, we peaked at like 75. I think over 1,000 people at the time had went to go see the live, so that was cold as well. And yeah, ended up getting like 40 subs from it in a day, bro. It was
That's cold, man. That's cold. To be fair, I was gonna do a reaction to it, but there's so long. Like I saw your live was like 3 hours.
Yeah,
I knew that them two were going back and forth for like an hour and a half itself. I don't want to react to an hour and a half of these men just shouting at each other. So I might clip like 10 minutes of it and have a short reaction to 10 minutes of it. And just see what people think of it from there. Because I know there's a lot of people still want to know what was going on, what was the beef. It was just like Spurs Civil War, and loads of rival fans. I'm getting messages from like random, like a league owner, like Don and these guys are like, "Who's this Hotspur Hippie guy? What's going on?" And I'm just like, bro, he's a mentally deluded guy about Spurs. And I bet to this morning he's probably making, I told you guys, back the club or fuck off. Yeah, I was right. He's probably coming out with all this fucking rubbish. Going mad
I end up seeing
about how he was right. But ultimately, I think, look, anyone's allowed to, I always say, you're allowed to support the club the way you want. He just doesn't let people support the club the way he wants. So that's his biggest problem. That really is his biggest problem, more than anything. But look, Tottenham Hotspur Civil War, it is what it is. There's always something going on within the fan base, and it's pretty much Hotspur Hippie versus the rest of us. That's all it is. Hotspur Hippie has no one on his side. He's on the side all alone versus just an army of Spurs fans.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So what I was gonna moving on to this weekend we got Nottingham Forest back to the Premier League. Actually, no, do you know what? Before we go back to the Premier League, let's talk about the semi-final itself. Bodo Glimt. They went through on penalties against, like, I can't believe Lazio come back, beat them, went 3-0 up, just conceding late in the second half of extra time, just to lose on penalties. And they missed like 3 of their 5 penalties as well. So they lost to themselves. But what do you think of that fixture we've got coming up against Bodo Glimt? And are you more confident for that one than you would have been for Lazio?
Yes, but I'm not gonna act like this is an easy game. I've never seen Bodo play, so I can't say about anything tactical wise. I can only just go on who they've beat, who we've beat. And I'll be real, I would have, if Lazio had gone through, I would have viewed Lazio as a problem. So the very least I can do is show respect to Bodo, and because they knocked out Lazio, they're a problem too.
Yeah,
that's the only way I look at it. I believe that Frankfurt is a more difficult tie. Don't get me wrong, and the fact that we've gotten past Frankfurt, especially in the manner in which we did, gives me all the confidence in the world to say we're going to turn these men over in it. But at the same time, you don't look past opponents. We have Bodo Glimt right now, especially their pitch, which something Ash was saying before, which I never really took into account. Their pitch is wild. It's like the Tamworth pitch. And Tamworth doesn't bring back any good fucking memories at all, bro, because we took over 100 minutes to score. So the fact that we have the home fixture first, we gotta just get it done, man. 3-4 goals without reply. Let's go to their stadium and just stink it out. I have every confidence that we can get this done. And then I also have confidence that if we get past these man, we'll win in the final. Because yes, Spurs, bottle job, yada yada. I hear all of this, but am I particularly scared of any team we can face? No. I'm definitely not scared of Man United. I'll say that for damn sure. You know what I'm saying? I was up until 4 a.m. arguing a touchline. You get what I'm saying about how them man are dead. I want to see them in the final. I had my chest out, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? We can definitely win this tournament, and in order to do that, we have to beat
Definitely
Bodo Glimt.
taking. Dare I
We
say,
have to
look,
beat
people,
Bodo Glimt
the
in
flag's
order to
back
do it,
up.
bro.
The flag is up.
Yeah,
The belief is back. The belief is back. Maybe we might just win a trophy. You know, I remember all the season, the start of the season, I was going, man, I was going, Europa League. What? We've got that. We've got that in the locker. I was so confident just to see us
yeah,
sort of play the way we have over the last 3 months to literally knock all the confidence out of me. But low-key, it's coming back. I am still very hesitant. Like you said, that I respect the opponents heavily. I've seen what Bodo Glimt have done to many European sides over the last couple of years. They've steadily progressed and improved. And they're a team that you need to look out for because, like we've seen, they beat Lazio and then they went and put in a good performance even away from home. Even though they lost the game, they managed to get through the tie. They're in a big semi-final that we can't write them off. We can't think just because we're Spurs, we got the divine right that we will beat a Bodo Glimt because they're like a small Norwegian team. Let's have it right. They done their job at home. I think their record at home in Europe in like the last 5 years is they've only lost 4 or 5 games. So they've got a really good home record too. They play on AstroTurf pitches, so it's not going to be something that the players are going to be comfortable with. There's a lot of things going against us in that away leg. We're also playing them away from home in the second leg, same way as we did on this side. So that's the thing I don't like. What I do like, though, is it is a team that I would say is more favorable than, you know, going up against Bilbao or Lazio.
yeah.
So if we're talking about teams that are left in the competition, this is the one team you'd be like, do you know what, I'll take playing them. I'm not going to say that we're already in the final, but it presents a good opportunity. And in that final, whether it's going to be United, whether it's Bilbao, it's a one-off game where it could be something special. It really could be. It could be, and in time, dare I say.
It could be. And if Ange wins this trophy, hey, you know what I'm saying, bro? It might. We might have to bring the arm raise back. You
Oh,
know what I'm
the way
saying?
you're saying the Colts back, yeah.
The
we're
quote might be
gonna have.
back.
I'm gonna have
I
to get
can't
Jacob.
lie.
You know what? I'm gonna have to call a boardroom talks next
We're
week.
gonna.
That's what we're definitely
We
gonna
might
do.
have
A
to because
boardroom talks next week.
if he
Um,
if he wins this Europa League, fam, I know people saying, "Oh, because we have to sack him regardless because the football and the Champions League and the competitions," and I hear that it's a Ten Hag thing because it's pretty much a Ten Hag trophy because the way we played, we've been turned over so much and we somehow walked out of it with a trophy. But at the same time, when has
also
Poch won a
get that
trophy?
pattern. Yeah.
When has Poch
When
won a
has it?
trophy? When did Conte, for all the praise we have for Conte and the praise I have for Conte, where was the trophy at? You know what I'm saying? And in 2 years, and
Oh,
these man
no.
had 2 years too, bro. You get what I'm saying? Conte had 2 years. You know what I'm saying? There was no trophy to be seen. So if Ange wins this trophy, some people want him gone regardless. Me, you know what I'm saying? Arm raised, fam. You know what I'm saying? I'll give him a little bit more time. I've got a couple months left more for Ange, fam. You know what I'm saying? If the performances and the results are looking the same, then I can't lie, fuck off in it. But
He got time. He's got time for
yeah,
Ange.
he's
I'll be
got
real.
time, bro. He's got
I
time.
haven't got time. I've not got time. I've seen enough, regardless whether we win this. Whether if we win a trophy, I'm ready to see him get sacked. I think it's look. I love what you've done for us, but I got to leave you. You know, no hard feelings, no love lost. It is what it is. Ultimately, the trophy is a big win, but we're going to be in a Ten Hag situation what Man United were in last season, and we saw where it went. He
Yeah,
got sacked after 4 or 5 months. Juan de
yeah,
Ramos, 2008. He got sacked after 4 or 5 months. Di Matteo, 2012. He got sacked after 4 or 5 months. When a manager comes in and they have a fairly decent time, but they're poor in the league, but they're good in the cups, ultimately they end up getting sacked because the league form is the most important form, and that's the one that you're going to be playing more of. So you've got to weigh it up like that. I think there's no other way to look at it. But look, it is a great opportunity. And will I take Spurs winning a trophy and 6 months more of Ange? Happily. I haven't saw a trophy in 15 years, or sorry, 17 years at this point. I will take a trophy if it means another year of Ange. Happily. I can go another year with watching Ange ball because I'll just be focusing on the fact that we won Europa League. Yeah?
yeah.
Let's get that job done. Let's bring that Europa home, boys. You know what I mean? But let's go to the chat real quick. Forest is an L move on Sim the Game. We're going to get onto that now. We're literally going to get onto that now. Man like Lou, man, Durag Fan TV. Dead. When we did mother of all comebacks, are you mad? We are the genuine mentality monsters. Oh, it's Man United, of course. Man
Oh,
United.
United.
They're
You
still
want a
taught
dead
out
food,
here.
bro.
Bro, dead
Bro.
food. That comeback was so overrated because you should never put yourself in that position in the first place.
You're
Going
already
2
2-0
0 up
up.
to
You
4
bottled the
2.
league. I ain't
What?
hearing
Like,
that.
that's not even a. How is it a comeback? What, a comeback or the comeback? Because Leon come back and went 4-2 up. They came back from 2-0 down and went 4-2 up. So
With
you
10
came
men
back,
as
yeah,
well,
but
bro.
it
Them man had
was like
10 men
3
and they
comebacks, bro.
still came. I ain't hearing
Like,
that, bro.
you was expected to win with 10 men. You should have won the game. I don't even know how you even let that, but yeah, man. Durag, stop this fake hyping of Bodo and bringing up the pitch factor. You should be in the final, and if not, then it is them bottled it as always. All right, look, if you say so, I'm not against it. Just like I said, if Arsenal don't win the trophy, they're bottlers in it because they beat the favorites. So if you beat the favorites, you're now the favorites, apparently. So keep an eye out in it. If we're bottlers, we really might be. But it's Good Friday. Yes, it is Good Friday, people. So big up and bless up to everyone that is celebrating. As he says here, you gotta eat your fish and hard old bread. No doubt, man. You gotta make sure you're eating your fish today. It's really Passover. And look, it's right there for you. E's channel is in the description. It's in the name. It's in the description, and it's in the chat. You literally can't miss it. There's no way to miss it. So let's get E up. Let's help E catch up because he's not that far away from me now. He's real close. We got to do the man them leveling up. Let's get 2K together. But big up Jords and Elijah. I'm worried we'll get to the final and United will scam us in the final like the way they came back last night. Bro, that would be the absolute worst way that any of this could play out. Going to the final, to lose to Manchester United, this Manchester United side of all of them, it would generally. I think I'd break inside. Like,
in a way, it's obviously United. We've done the 3-for-3 thing, and we can make it the Wendy's 4-for-4. But at the same time, the last time we made a final, we played against another Premier League team. And I think it's just if we go against a Premier League team, we might actually perform worse in a way because I feel like there'll be a level of over not overconfidence, but overthinking it because it's a Premier League team that you've seen at least 2-3 times in the same season. So in a way, like United are definitely worse than Bilbao. But at the same time, if we go against a Bilbao, we might play with a bit more freedom and a bit more energy just because like there's a bit of unpredictability to the game. And in the same way, they're going to be unpredictable of us. Man United, of course, we can counter them, but they can counter us because they played us 3 times. So they know what we're looking for. They know what to expect. And not to say that Bilbao won't do their research and their due diligence, but when it comes to actually playing against us, there's only so much tactics can do if you haven't actually played against us before. So it'll be I think the game will be a lot more open and a lot better of a football match in general if we play Bilbao. But United are shit. So really, I wouldn't really mind either one. It's just we have to get past Bodo first because we can't look past the team currently in front of us. We have to get that job done first, secure that win.
Yeah, man. Like playing against these English sides is gonna present an issue for us, and it's that little bit of overconfidence. The fact that we beat Man United so many times this season, the fact you're playing against a side that you're familiar with, it just adds that extra bit of pressure that I don't think Spurs can handle. So I would rather avoid Man United and go up against Bilbao, even though Bilbao are playing at their home stadium. So it's going to be a tough final either way. We're going to go up against a team where we're probably not going to be favourites for it. But look, that's what it is. It takes a lot to win a trophy, innit? It's never going to be easy. You're never going to get an easy team. So if it means playing Bilbao at their home stadium or playing Manchester United, I'll take either of the teams. Let's go and have it. Let's fucking have it. One of them ones. But look, Nottingham Forest coming up this weekend. As I was saying, we're back to Premier League football. Our form is absolutely dreadful over there. What are you saying about this game? I'm just going to throw out there and say I don't think Spurs are winning. I don't think Spurs are going to win much of their Premier League games. I think we probably see 2 more Premier League wins to the rest of the season, and we'll probably just about get over 40 points. I don't think this is going to be one of them, despite it being a home game. But how are you feeling for it?
I'll be real. I think this is going to end up. I feel like we might win this game. I'll be real, and I think it's just because I expect Nottingham Forest to just free fall, and that's not even because of obviously Nottingham Forest didn't have Chris Wood because he's injured, but I just don't think that Nottingham Forest is going to finish in the top 4. I'll be real. To be fair, they've extended their run for longer than I expected. I thought around the 25 game mark they'd start to fizzle out, But as of recently, they've started fizzling, and obviously Chris would not be in there as a big reason why. But I expected them to fizzle out towards the end of the season, and I feel like this is their time to do it. I don't think that it will be an easy game at all, especially with the rotations that will happen, because it's inevitable that players will get rested, just so they can have a bit of time off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would not be surprised at all if we end up beating Nottingham Forest, just because I think they're just going to fizzle out.
Justin just said Wood is back, by the way.
Okay, never mind. Fuck all I just said. We're not winning, bro. Fuck all I said, bro. No cap.
Aye, man said we're getting wooded. Aye.
Nah,
Hold that wood. Pause.
Fuck it,
Nah,
fuck it, man.
I look
We
at the
might draw
game.
this game though. I don't think we'll lose though.
Do you know what it is? You make a good point about Nottingham Forest falling off. It's very often that we see teams occupy these spaces and then have bad ends to the season, like we saw Leicester do so many years in a row. Like I remember there was one year they were in the top four more than any team in the Premier League, and they still didn't finish out. They finished outside the top four. Nottingham Forest is going to be similar to that, whereas they're fourth right now. They're literally a few points away from City, a few points from Chelsea, and a few points from Villa. Villa are playing Newcastle, so that's probably goes in their favor for that. But they've got a few games where you're just like, bro, this is going to go down to the last day. Their position is not as comfy as they want it to be. Now, European football, regardless whether it's Europa League or Champions League, is a big, big result for them. But
facts.
Yeah, no, I think this game, you've got a hungry Nottingham Forest side coming up against a tired Spurs team who have all but accepted their fate in the Premier League. I feel like although we are playing home, we're not going to look like the home team. We're going to dominate possession at times, but I think Nottingham Forest is going to have control of the game. So I feel like it's going to be one of those ones where it's just... It's not going to be a pretty watch. I think we rotate some of our players. I won't be surprised to see Sarr. If he throws Sarr and Basuma back in the midfield, my head's going to be on Mars. Like, I'm going to be floating.
I think Basuma might actually make the starting lineup, you know.
I don't want to see these athletes in our midfield, bro, because they're not footballers. They're just athletes, bro. Get them on the running track. Get them on the athletics field, yeah. Part of whatever it's Team Kenya, Team Somalia, all of them, yeah. Put them on that team, and they're gonna do up proper settings, yeah. Running. Perhaps Sarr's gonna cover ground like he does. Distance covered FC. He's gonna do his job. What I don't know about him and Basuma playing in midfield against Morgan Gibbs-White, Ryan Yates, who's just going to be clattering into, man. And plus, Morgan Gibbs-White, he's been good recently. He's been dangerous. But the biggest problem for me is I'm looking at their wingers. Hudson-Odoi on that left-hand side is dangerous. When you've got him running at... I expect to see Jed Spence start this game. It better not be Jed Spence on the left and Archie Gray on the right like we saw last week, because again... and just lost his mind. Just don't throw Archie Gray. If you want to play Archie Gray, you play him in the middle. If you want to drop Bentancur, do Archie Gray in a 6, I'll happily see that. I don't want to see Archie Gray at right back. So we need to make sure that the matchups are correct. You need to throw in Udogie next to Alanga, because Alanga is not that tricky. You can get your physical, and Udogie's going to win that battle. And then Jed Spence in that 1v1 against Cho. I'd fancy Spence, but if it's Pedro Porro, it's a long day. It's a long day.
We have to rest Porro. There's no way. Like we got to remember that Porro has been one of the most consistent players for us in terms of being.
My guy, Luke,
big up, Luke. So yeah, he's been one of the most consistent players in terms of just being in the lineup, not in terms of performances, but just in terms of being there, available for selection. So it's about time that we get Porro as much, because let's be honest, we want him starting the Europa League games. We want him starting, fam. I mean, obviously, Udogie has been turning it around. But let's be real, we want Porro in there because he's more of an X factor going forward than Udogie. So most of the time, yeah, we want Porro rested for this game 100%. If he comes on, then he comes on, you know what I'm saying? But it'll be interesting as well to see what happens with Spence, because we've started to see cracks in Spence's game, and not in terms of his football. I almost said something crazy, but not in terms of his performance and his build as a player, but just the fatigue. Like Spence was playing week in, week out, twice a week for months now at this point, and it's not surprising to me that now that the fatigue has started to set in a bit, we're seeing him not, you know what I'm saying, be great for 90 minutes. Now it's down to like 60 minutes, or there's a mistake here and there. And I want the fans to just chill a bit on Spence, innit? Just chill out a little bit, because no one's perfect. You get what I'm saying? It looked really good for Spence because he had a year out of the main team. He wasn't playing twice a week. He was barely playing once a week. you know. So of course, when he first come in, we see the energy levels up, and we're like, yeah, this guy's the guy in it. And he should have got called to the England squad, which is fair enough. But now that he's been a consistent performer in the team and the fatigue has started to set in and the mistakes are being made, I don't want people to start flipping on Spence because we know how good he is.
Yeah.
We just needed, if Spence, Porro, Udogie available the whole season, we could have rotated between them. I feel like all three of them would be at a kind of good level. But whereas we've seen Porro and Udogie kind of dip in and out of form as the season's gone on, and also the injuries as well. So everyone just chill on Spence a bit. You know what I'm saying? And like Jason, in still in Spence we trust. We still trust in Spence. But I just want the fans to know that, yo, he's got a couple mistakes in him. He's human. Let's just chill on the maybe we overhype Spence. No, we did not overhype Spence, bro. He is a good right back, good left back. Just chill on the guy, innit? You know, just chill on him.
That's what it is there. Like people what it is far too often in football is people overhype someone. Then when they overhype them, they've got to bring them back down and start shitting on them. When the players, they're naturally going to have ups and downs. They're not going to be perfect throughout a full season because we didn't see Jed Spence for so long. Like you said, it was a breath of fresh air. So naturally, he was going to get way more praise than most of our other fullbacks did. Like we've seen Udogie for 18 months. So a lot of people are now on Udogie's back, but forget that last year, he was amazing for us. Like literally pulling up trees and doing one of the best left backs in the league. But right now, he's getting a lot of flack and because he's had a bad season and so on. Naturally, things like that happen. Jed Spence had a few games recently where I think it's lapses in concentration that have killed him. Sometimes his defensive positioning isn't the best. But we always knew that he wasn't a polished player. We always knew that Jed Spence still had some issues. But the one thing that he doesn't have, and one thing that can't be questioned on top of all Spurs players, is his effort on the pitch whenever he does play. He's always putting 100% effort. He's always running. He's always working. And that's the difference for me for Spence than a lot of other players. It's the hard work and the passion to play for the badge. Like he's got the arrogance that I don't care whether we win or lose today. I just want to make sure I have a good performance. He's on one of those ones. And I like that. He needs to make sure that he's always having a good performance. Now that will eventually better the team in the long run. And this is one of those games where you just look to play him. But I do think that Jed Spence it was smart not to play him yesterday. I feel like we now need to start doing this sort of small rotations in games. Not too big, but 2 or 3 players should be swapped into this lineup for the Thursday game because we haven't got a game midweek next week. I'm pretty sure we might. No, we don't have a week off, but it is FA Cup weekend, so we don't have a midweek game. We've got a game on the weekend, so we don't really need to do resting players and all of that. And the game after that is when we play Bodo Glimt, and we're at home that game, in the first game. May the 1st or whatever it is. So I feel like looking at it that way, we really don't need to start to do up rest, do up rotations, do too much changes. Just need to stick with the same team and make sure we get over the line because the road to 40 points is real, people. The road to 40 points is real. We're now currently, is it 4 away or 5 away?
We're 37 points, I'm pretty
37.
sure.
We're 3 points away. Yeah, we need to make sure we don't lose this weekend or we pick up points because Wolves and West, we could be in 17th. At the end of this weekend.
One thing I will be happy is literally like 14th to 17th is actually could be a toss-up because Ipswich, thank the Lord that Chelsea came back and drew with them because if they had beaten them, at that point it's looking a bit shaky. But with 6 games to go, they need 13 points in 6 games?
Yeah, no, literally 14 points to catch up to West Ham.
Yeah,
they could get relegated this weekend if they lose.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm not really too worried about relegation of sorts. I'm just thinking in terms of I'm really looking at this game to see who Ange rests and how we play. Whether we win or lose, it doesn't matter at this point anymore because we're not really playing for much. So if we end up losing the game, I'll be upset for like 5 minutes after the game, and then I'll be fine after because I'll put things in perspective. But I just really want to see who we play, who we rest, and the way we play in terms of how the game goes. Because if we go 1-0 up, it'll be interesting to see if we do the practical thing again or if we just say, you know what, because it's the league, we're not going to. I'd love to see the practicality again, just so we can, if anything, shore it up because it's the first time we've seen it. So I'd love to see us, if we go 1-0 up, do the practical thing again, just so we can get used to it. The players can get used to it. And yeah, that would be great to see. But that's more so what I'm looking for rather than the result itself.
No, for real. For real. The problem with us is when we make a sub, we downsize at least. If you sub Spence for Udogie, it's kind of like a like for like because Udogie isn't the worst player for real. Yeah, no, but Starcrow, I need to just say that again. Semi-final. Shut up! You know, one of them ones. The shutters are back in full effect. One of them ones, bro. Yeah, we're back where we belong. Semi-final settings, Europe. It feels nice. Feels nice. It feels like heritage. Feels like heritage. But we're not going to focus on that, Starcrow, because the Premier League is nothing to play for right now. So the fact that we got Nottingham and Liverpool is fine. Hopefully Liverpool won the league by then. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping Liverpool won the league by that game.
I can't hear these. Oh, you let Arsenal lose the title twice in a row. I'm not hearing this shit.
Look, Ashley's back. Ashley's back. The rebrand. So if you ever see Anjan in your chat, just know that this is Ashley. He rebranded because he couldn't take the beef. So corn for his head top. He chose to change his name. But look, what if we run to the end of the season? Have some damn confidence. We ain't losing. We are not defensively good in and around our area. It's funny because I see him in the chat earlier say something just like, "Oh, Jords, here it is. George, stop being a bitch and back your team. Well, you just got into the semis. You just joined the show. You didn't see that me and E were actually celebrating the fact that we got into the semis, and we're being happy. We're all out here celebrating. So you stop being a bitch and stop hiding from our streams, Ashley. Stop hiding.
Where the StreamYard link?
Yeah, I'll run that link to you anytime you want. Just don't hide. Yeah,
this
show
is the
face.
era of the internet, bro.
Because the last time I remember we started inviting him, he started doing like men's mental health. That's what I heard he was doing. Men's mental health. It's calm.
That Logic song and that phone number and that.
You want to call that man a bitch, but you want to do like men's mental health when man I'm inviting you on streams. I hear it, bro. But it's Ange in all day. I've been telling you. Luke was feeling nice last night. I know Luke was feeling extra nice.
Shameless guy, bro. Man dropped the bombshell that he's Ange out just to pull back like 3 days later, bro. I knew it.
Just like Jay says here, man, it's still Ange out until Ange out for real. Jords is Ange in now. No, I'm not Sharkeisha. I'm definitely not. Most definitely not. Chill. Well, just back the team. Sounds like Hotspur Hippie. Sounds like Ashley should go and join a Hotspur Hippie. He should go be part of
him, though. I'm pretty sure I've seen him say he's a fan of Hotspur Hippie. So
I'm sure he is. It's like you pulled an 8 and you're scared of the 5 out of 10. I generally don't get what that even means. Don't even get what that means. I don't think you would know about pulling 8s or 5s or 6s or 7s. I think your category is more of a 2s and 1s. Whichever you can get. Yeah, you know them.
Non-applicable, bro.
He works at a club. I'm sure he sees that all the time. You see a guy going to the club, he's like turning girls down at the start of the night, and he ends up with the monster that's left at the bar. That's you, actually, every week.
The amount of bro.
You see guys go into the club, and then when they're walking out, you're just like, you should have done better. That's a failure of a night. You failed tonight. You didn't score a goal. This does not count as a goal scored. Just tap-ins don't count. I'm sorry, we're not accepting these ones. Not even tap-ins. They're more like the goal that Tel scored the other day. Deflections, bro. That's
you know in pro clubs where you chip the goalkeeper and you see your teammate out of nowhere just run through and just head the ball in.
Head of the ball, like
you know what I'm saying? That's what it is, bro. That's what it is.
Man said, "I'll take your gal off you." I don't go clubbing. The party, like, you couldn't even tell party.
The party comes to me. That's the most cringe shit.
I'm sure that party might come to you because that's how you swing. Thomas party might be on his way to you. I hear it. Swing, mate.
Man, that party hard. Say that, bro. I see you shining,
mate. But look, if we win the Europa, they're obviously going to keep him in. Would it be a new slate for you guys? Last question. Would it be a new slate for you, Elijah?
No, it wouldn't be a new slate. I'm willing to give him like a month or 2 more of the Premier League when the season starts, just to see if the performances and the results improve. I'm not willing to give him 5-6 months like United gave Ten Hag, if it was 4 or 5, whatever it was. I'm not willing to go that far because I'm very wary of the fact that this will be a Ten Hag kind of trophy. Because let's be real, we're getting turned over. We've lost 21 games, all comps, and we walked away with the Europa League. If that's not a Ten Hag trophy, I don't know what is. So I fully understand everyone saying, nah, get rid of him regardless. I fully get it. I'm going to be more in the delusional hype and be like, yo, I'll give him a month or 2 because he's just won the Europa League. He's already S tier for me, just like Ramos is S tier, side note. But give him like a month or 2. And if the performances and the results are the exact same as this year, except we're in Champions League instead of Europa, bin him. That's the way I'd go. Of course, to be fair, the summer is a better time to get managers. So again, I hear, you know what I'm saying? I hear the get rid of him anyway and use the summer to get a manager, because of course we could then use the transfer market for that new manager. You know, so again, I hear it. I hear all of the sackings, I understand, but no, I don't think for anyone it will be a clean slate.
No, it won't be a clean slate for me. Just like where's the comment? Jun says it here. No time given. I don't sell Rolexes. Yeah, facts. I ain't giving no one more time. He's had plenty of time. 2 years, won a trophy. Cool, facts. Good, but you just sometimes you have to call it a day, innit? That just needs to be it. Like, bro, he didn't win a trophy. It is what it is. Let's see it out there, innit? Like, oh, sorry, he won the trophy. It is what it is. You know, thank you. God bless. Goodbye. Like that's just how I feel about it. I don't want to see it go any further than it needs to. Again, we've seen him for 2 years and we know what quantity he's going to bring. It's just not good enough. It's as simple as that. The football isn't good enough, tactics ain't good enough, and Ange isn't good enough. But look, people, we are real. I think like we're 2 likes away from 50, man. 2 people in here. We've got 72 people in here. Make sure you smash the likes on this video. Doesn't take a second. Don't cost you a thing. Follow up Elijah's channel. It's in the name of the video. It's in the description of the video. It's also been posted in the chat by Ghosted many a time. So make sure you show some love to Elijah. You know, fresh off the 1K. He's part of the gang. He's part of the crew now. Yeah. Feeling extra knife monetization settings. Make sure you're watching those adverts when he posts them, because boy, you can help a guy make some money. And let's get these likes up in the video. Make sure you do that before you head out. But have you got any lives coming today, Elijah?
Oh yeah, my 3 a.m. lives, they're back, fam. You know what I'm saying? I'm back doing the 3 a.m. lives where I just react to shit and just chill with the mandem. I can't lie, it's probably some of my best ones to do, because I don't have to always just be upbeat and just be like, instead of just feeling like I'm entertaining people, it's more of like we just chill and we just have convos. So I like those kind of things. And plus it's times where I can also talk to American fans, because a lot of the time the American fans don't catch us live because of the time difference. More time they're at work when we're doing our kind of thing. So it's nice also to say what's up to the American fans as well, because funnily enough, I actually have a lot of fans from America, and that might have been the Jacob kind of plug right there. Jacob, you know what I'm saying? It might be that Jacob and Leo the Mile High as well. But yeah, it's nice to have that kind of connection with both English fans and American fans, and then fans on our kind of time zone, and then fans on other time zones in it. But make sure you guys are tuning into Trench Talks. That's the big one. Trench Talks on Famzone TV, 10 p.m. England time, UK time. That is the stream for Fridays. The stream. There's no other stream, fam. So make sure you guys are locking in over there. Them man have a big channel on every single week, bro. Now they've captured Lee Gunner's heart as well, fam. He's there now as well.
Captured Lee Gunner. Lee Gunner was last week. This week got Saeed this week coming on.
Saeed, look at that, man. Crazy.
Come on, man. The Avengers pulling the Avengers together over at Famzone TV, man. Putting in the work to make sure the guys can it's just building, innit? Trench Talks is really taking over. I think last week or the week before, I think last week might have been like we were the most viewed show at the night, like the most concurrent viewers at one point. And I was like, yo, us man, I come from the trenches for real, because people don't like. He would know because he's been tuned in from like the first couple of episodes in December. It used to just be 40, 30 people in the chat. We still going. Our streams were longer then, to be honest. We didn't stream until like fucking 5 in the morning and that 4 in the morning consistently. And then now we've got it into a proper schedule, 4 months of hard work, and it's just good to see the man them really getting the recognition, man, that's deserved. Because Trench Talk is generally one of the funniest shows I've been watching on YouTube.
One of the best shows on football YouTube, 100%.
Nah, for real. Look, Famzone making big signings. Just man, Famzone TV just continue making big signings. You're gonna keep seeing the Avengers appear on there.
One thing I've seen though, one thing I've got to say though, it started off with ball talk is not allowed, and now it's all about ball talk.
Bro, I'm gonna get onto them.
It's crazy, fam.
Don't worry, I've been getting onto them. I was like, yo, how do we got? It's for one, it's a Friday night. I don't get how we got back to talking ball, like especially when they had Leon last week. I was getting tired.
All Lee does is talk about ball, fam. Like,
I was like, no, Lee's funny. He can talk not ball, but when I knew once you got him started on Real Madrid, Arsenal winning things, I was like, nah, we're gonna be here for ages. And we were there for like 2. It was like 12. We started the quiz. Remember, I think you was in the chat going, when are you starting the quiz? And I was telling the man, I was like, yo, you man, we're starting the quiz in a second. I don't care. We're starting the quiz. I was just messaging him. I was like, yo, we are going to start. And then I said it live. I was like, yeah, we're starting the quiz once we get here to let everyone know we're definitely we need to move on from this Arsenal talk. Friday nights is not, we're not here to talk Arsenal. We don't care.
we don't care. Facts. We don't. Facts.
But look, people, we are gonna raid Mr. Box Office TV because he's still live with Ash on Spurs Kings. They've been running up live for a few hours now. So I want to go show some love over to Box Office. Make sure you drop a DRD raid in the chat, delinquent raid, Durag Diaries raid, whatever you want. Just let him know that you've come over from the channel. Show some love. He's on 1.5k subscribers, so help him get to 2k. But anyone in here that hasn't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to Box Office. That is the bro. He's funny. And he also talks some sense about Spurs. I can't lie. So show some love to Box Office. Hit him up with a DRD raid. And yeah, man, big up to the people. Spur of the moment. We're back next week. Peace.